Very cool. Very cool. Greg Rainbow, what's up, dude? I love this guy. He's already rocking it out. He's everywhere. I'm going to see if we got some non-up group members on here. And if not, okay. Very cool. Couple. All right. Cool, cool, cool. So you guys are going to see some pretty crazy stuff. So make sure you sit down, you have a pen and paper ready, and I'm going to kick this on over to Jason and let him show you guys what he showed Rodney, what you guys are going to see right now, and this should drive a lot of you to take that action that is needed to build your business. So, Jason, are you on with me, man?
I am on with you. Hold on 1 second for me. I clicked on the chat and my screen went away. There we go. All right, so I'll let Kevin open it up and show it to you guys, and I'll talk about it.
All right, you guys should see my screen.
Excellent. All right. So what I call this really, the compensation plan with Up Group is so simple. I call it the power of one. And whether you want to think about it in terms of getting one customer a month, one customer a week, one customer a day, and I believe what we're putting together here with Up Group, it's such a simple plan because it's really about giving to get. You give something away, you get something in return. So in this case, you're giving people the ability to get free screening or to get no out-of-pocket cost screening for cancer with CGX or for prescription medications with PGX, and a slew of other things that we'll be giving away as well. Just talking in general terms of the platform of Up Group, giving away coupons, 10% off. You're giving away a coupon, you're getting a commission for somebody buying CBD oil or anything else that may be through Metabolic Design. You're giving away for Up Financial, you're giving away credit services where people can repair their credit, and you're getting something in return. So it's this whole give-get mentality. You're giving to get. So you're giving value to your patients, to your customers, or to agents. So with the power of one, we're going to go ahead and advance to the next slide. The marketing contributions, and that's what we call them, so we don't really call them commissions for CGX and PGX. So the contributions that the labs will reimburse us for creating awareness for this swab. And again, think about all the good we're doing here because we're advancing research for cancer. We're helping people if they have good probability in their family genes of having this mutation of having the cancer gene, where they can make decisions, or they can treat cancer at an early stage and have a much better chance of survival. So these programs have been out for a while, but there just really isn't been a lot of awareness. People just don't know about them. And that's one of the great things that we're doing, and the mission behind Carefree is creating this awareness. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our app as we get into this. So as this app comes online, I want you to think about how powerful this is. It's what I believe, or what we talk about. It's like everybody knows about an app called Credit Karma or Credit Sesame. They're apps where basically if you want to know your credit score, it was always like some unknown thing. Your credit score is important, but they never would tell you what it was unless you wanted to go buy a car or buy a home or apply for a credit card. And then they would only send you your credit score if you didn't get approved. So it was like an unknown thing. Or you could buy your credit report. And then all of a sudden this Credit Karma and Credit Sesame comes out. And now if you ever want to see your credit, you just go on there, and some people check it 3, 4, 5 times a day. And then on Credit Karma, they now show you other financial instruments that are available to you based on your credit. Now there's millions of users that use this free app, and Credit Karma's valuation is somewhere over $4 billion today. And it's like, how is that? Because it's free. Well, there's a lot of people using it. Think about Facebook. Facebook's free to use. But look at the valuation. Look at Mark Zuckerberg, one of the wealthiest people in the world. So there's something to be said about free. So Carefree is a free app for our patients. So it's free. And as we go out and give this free app away and we enroll patients, they're becoming enrolled with Carefree. And what's great is Carefree is going to make patients aware of what's available to them. Free services or no cost out-of-pocket services like CGX, a cancer screening platform, if you qualify, PGX. There'll be other services like medical device reimbursements, foot massages, different types of medications, possibly stem cells. My point is, whatever it is, Carefree is going to be that platform and what we believe it's the Credit Karma. It's the Credit Karma of the medical industry, which is going to be there for information. It's going to be, creating awareness and giving information for you that's available to you as a patient or somebody that's interested in your health. So it's exciting to see that we're pioneering where we're at with this app. The development team has built the first ever driven EHR system that's driven by the patient. So really, really exciting things we're doing here. So let me get into, obviously, the reason why, Kevin wanted me to share this with you. These numbers that are available, these contributions for marketing from these labs are overwhelming. And again, it's about creating awareness, it's data, it's research. So for every CGX swab that you would do in finding a patient that would qualify, and again, all you need to do, it's very simple, is just get patients to sign up for free, and then they'll go through the process, they'll answer the questions, and they'll see if they qualify or not for a CGX screening. Now here's the numbers. If somebody qualifies for a CGX screening, 78% of them qualify for a PGX screening. So it's like a combo. So basically the same swab can qualify for both. So together, it's a $350 contribution for CGX, and it's a $200 contribution for PGX. So combined, that would be $550. For every patient that you find that's qualified, that goes through Carefree, you can receive up to a $550 marketing contribution from the lab, or from UpGroup. So we go to the next slide. So what this shows you here, again, you can think of, if I went out and swabbed one person for the month, and my whole goal was just to make an extra $500 a month to make a car payment. Well, all that is go out and find one patient a month that qualifies. And it's just like anything else, it's the law of large numbers. The more patients you enroll into Carefree Now, the more opportunity you have for that one of those patients to qualify for the CGX screening. You don't have to target specific patients, just enroll everybody. Because even if they don't qualify for CGX, they may qualify for something else in the future. And as long as they're a patient that signed up through one of your links, which Kevin's going to share with you how to do that, then that patient's always tied to you. For the lifetime that they participate in anything Carefree would do, that patient is tied to you. That's so powerful. And again, it didn't cost the patient anything. So if your goal is to make an extra $500 a month to pay a car payment, just get one patient a month that qualifies for CGX. You can get one a week. If you got one a week, that would be 4 a month. 4 times $550 would be $2,200. Well, what if you conditioned yourself to say, look, I'm going to get one patient a day on average? Well, that would be 30 patients a month. At the end of 1 month, if you just got one a day that qualified, that's 30 times 550 or $16,500. And I know you're probably looking at this like I did and say, wow, for just going out and getting one swab a day, and it doesn't cost anything out of the patient's pocket, I could earn $16,500? Yes. And that's just one of the services and one of the programs that UpGroup offers. Well, what if you did that in that plan and you followed that plan for the year? And even if it took you 2 hours a day, let's say, to enroll 10, 20, 30 patients a day for free to get one that qualified. And obviously, the more you do anything, the better you're going to get. So if you're taking 2 hours a day, it was taking you, let's say, 14 hours a week to get one patient a day, 7 days a week. At the end of a year, 365 swabs that you've done personally, that's over $200,000 in marketing contributions paid back to you. Now, think of this for a second, and I want you to look at these numbers. The example I'm sharing with you here is you acquiring one customer, or one patient, I should say, per day personally. Again, you may get all 7 patients in one day and take the next 6 days off. Whatever way you like to work, set a defined goal and go after it. I was talking to Kevin. I said, Kevin, I watched a thing on YouTube on Uber drivers. And you think about how many Uber drivers are driving spare time, part-time, 2, 3, 4 hours a day in between jobs, whatever it may be, that could be making phone calls. Those Uber drivers, they did a thing. Somebody did a a test, and I said, look, I'm going to go live one day in the life of an Uber driver. And he worked 10 hours for the day, put gas in his car, maintenance, wear and tear, did his rides. By the time he calculated what he made in rides for the day versus what it costed him in wear and tear and expenses, I think it was somewhere just over $2 an hour that he actually made after expenses. So if you think about how many people you know or you come across that are Uber drivers, that if they just got one swab a day, they could make $550 a day and save themselves all that hassle. So the opportunity is unbelievable. And you see this and say, you may be saying, like I say, you may be an overachiever and say 1 swab a day. Wow, I can get 2 swabs a day. Well, 2 swabs a day, you can double the numbers you see there. What if you got 3 swabs a day? All I can tell you is the great part about Up Group, it's your business. And you can put together and define whatever goals you want. And as you define your goals, you go after them. And what I like to do is, because nobody has to do this but you. So you look in the mirror and you say, if it's going to be, it's up to me. So you play a little game with yourself and say, look, I'm not going to bed today till I get my 1 customer, my 1 patient. Or I'm not going to bed today till I enroll 3 or 10 or 20 free patients onto Carefree Now. Because I know the more patients I enroll, the more opportunity I have for people to swab and qualify. So whatever that is, just play a little mental game with yourself. Have fun with the business. Don't take it too serious, but set a goal and go after it. So looking at these numbers, and again, I like to break it down so simple, and that's why I call it the power of 1. Just think about it in terms of 1. If we go to the next slide, Kevin, I'm going to show you what happens, because naturally, if we do something good, what do we want to do? We want to tell other people about it. If you're doing, something good and you're having fun with it and it's not too difficult, don't you want to tell your friends, your family, your parents, your neighbors, people? When we do something good and we're having fun, we want to tell people about it. So I want to bring my friend in and I want to work with him. When we were kids, you used to talk about it. You want to build a business with your friend, you're going to build an empire. And then what happens, we kind of fall into reality. And some of us, reality, you get stuck in the mundane, 40 hours a week, in and out, wake up at 6, go to lunch, tell me when I can eat, tell me when I can see my kids. And it's like you get stuck in that what we call reality. But when you do something like this, and if you're making great money, what do you want to do? You tell your friends. You can build a business with them, have fun with them, travel with them. So let's say you introduce 2 people to your business and Up Group. You told your brother about it and you told your neighbor about it. He said, look, you guys can do this too. This is pretty simple what I do. We have a marketing program. We can talk to, you can do word of mouth, and we can help people out by letting them know that this Carefree Now program is available to them. And that's just one of the programs. Well, those 2 people would be on what we call your first floor of your business. And on your first floor, or some people may refer to it as a level, your first floor, you're going to manage those people. So for managing, what I mean by manage, it doesn't mean you're going to be their boss. They're like, hey, go get some swabs today. Nobody wants to be bossed around and told what to do, right? But we're going to collaborate and work together. So here's where in our business, we call it leading by example. If you went out and got 30 swabs last month or 1 a day, if you could get 1 a day, can you teach somebody else how to get 1 a day? Of course. So if you can do it, you can teach it. So you go out there and do it, and then you can teach me how to do it. And I know I'm learning from experience. So you teach me how to go out and start getting 1 swab a day, and I start doing it. Your representative does the same thing, your agent. So you have 2 agents who get 1 swab a day. Now you're getting 60 swabs on your first floor that you're managing those individuals. They're making $33,000 between the 2 of them. They're happier than heck, and they're loving you. They're thanking you for introducing them to this. But here's the great thing. You're rewarded. And how are you rewarded? That where you see in purple is a 10% check match. So all the success you help your 2 agents achieve, you're going to receive 10% of their entire commissions. Not their commissions, but a 10% match on their commissions. So you're not taking it from them. I want to make sure we're clear on that, because some people are like, wait, does that come out of my? No, it doesn't come from their commission. It's just a matching bonus, because we want to reward you in Up Group for assisting those new agents learn how to go out and get people enrolled into Carefree Now. or learn how to go out and get metabolic design, or any part of the business, you're going to receive that 10% check match. This is universal across the entire UpGroup platform. It's a very simple compensation plan. So you may be asking right now, well, am I limited to only tell 2 people about this? Because I certainly know a lot more than 2 people that want to make more money, and if they saw a plan like UpGroup, they would jump all over it. No, there's no limitations. You could sponsor 2 people. You could sponsor nobody. You don't have to enroll anybody if you don't want to. If you want to be selfish and just keep the opportunity to yourself, you can certainly do that. Or if you say, look, I can enroll 100 people in this plan, you can do that too. Obviously, the more people that you enroll personally into UpGroup, which by the way also is free to get started, and then they can upgrade to Pro like the people on this call. The more people you enroll in UpGroup, obviously the more 10% check matches. And you may say, well, that means I got to train a lot more people. Yeah, well, if you train those people, and again, they're just doing what you're already doing, plus you can also plug them into the calls like this, and we will train them for you. But for you assisting and training them and showing them the ropes, you receive that 10% check match on every single enrollment that you would enroll as an agent, and there's no limitations. So you can go infinitely wide in this business. Is infinity a good word? I love it. It's a great word. So, but let's just stay with this example, and let's just say you just enrolled 2. And in your 2 people that you enrolled, and I was one of them, and I said, you know what, I definitely know people that would take advantage of this and love to promote this opportunity. One, because they're being socially responsible. They're creating awareness for cancer research and for drug medications, and they would do well with this. So you had 4 people on your second generation, or second floor, we'll call it, that what you see here. So if you're 2 agents, enrolled 2 agents each and did what you did, you now have 4 agents. Same thing happens on that floor. Everybody goes out and gets 1 swab a day. And then at the 3rd level or 3rd floor, the same thing would happen. And then the 4th level, the same thing would happen. I'm just showing you just a standard kind of duplication. You've probably seen examples like this in the past. And again, it just shows you how exponential growth happens. It'll never happen perfectly. So we're never going to say this happens perfectly like this. There's no limitations. You may mess it up and go out and put 10 agents on your front line. I may mess it up and sponsor nobody. Or I may sponsor 1 person who's a superstar and goes out and sponsors 500 people. You never know. But let's just stick to this example. Watch this. And the numbers are already there. But if you look at the total at the bottom, you have a total of 30 agents. Those 30 agents that are part of your team, right, that you manage, those 30 agents go out and do the same thing you've done. And each one of your agents also are helping the agents they sponsor and they enroll to learn how to get 1 swab a day or keep enrolling free members, free patients into Carefree Now. And if everybody just averaged one patient a day that did a swab, 30 times 30 days would be 900 swabs that were done in your team for the month, or your group, your company, whatever you want to reference your business as, your business. That would equate to that purple arrow over to the right, which would be $66,000 in marketing contributions paid to you. And that's just for the month. And that's only 30 agents. Now, when I showed this to Rodney and a couple other people, they were blown away. And I said, Rodney, how many people have you had? You've obviously been a top producer at many companies. He's a top performer. And he says, look, I had over 400,000 agents in one of the companies I was a part of. And I go, 400,000. We're talking 30. So what I want you to know is that anybody on this line can absolutely achieve these numbers. And all you have to do is start with you. Start with you going out and just, again, sharing the Carefree app and getting new patients to enroll, getting people to enroll as patients in Carefree and letting them go through the process to see if they qualify. And again, don't get discouraged if they don't qualify. It's okay. There's 60 million Americans that qualify for CGX. Well, that at least qualify with Medicaid. Then it's, who has had cancer history in their family. But then there's also PGX. And that's, again, only 2 of the free programs that are available today through Carefree. By next week, there'll be another 2 to 3 programs that'll be added, and we'll continue to keep adding. And again, as I mentioned, it will be this awareness platform for the medical industry. And it's a free application that doesn't cost the patients anything to enroll and get this valuable information that most people are just unaware of. And there's some great videos. There's a great 2.5-minute video by a doctor that's in our Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, certainly join into the Facebook group. You go under videos. There's a 2.5-minute video there, and it's a doctor, and he talks about it. He's like, shame on us. And what he's doing is he's talking about the other doctors in the world or in the United States that are not making the awareness, or they're not creating the awareness for their patients. Because he's like, if we could catch cancer in today's day and age with technology, we should be treating it at an early stage, not waiting until somebody sees symptoms and that should have been caught because there was a mutation that could have easily been detected through genetic screening. So he's really, saying like, we have a responsibility to go out there and create awareness behind this type of program that's available that most people just don't know that's out there. So I feel so much of a purpose behind just letting people know. And all we have to do, again, is just enroll them into Carefree Now for free. Carefree Now is going to do the rest of the work for you. You don't got to become an expert. You don't got to be an expert in genetic screening, or I can't even say PGX and what that phenomic, or Kevin can help me out here. I have to look at the word. But my point is, you don't have to be an expert in any of that. All you have to do is just be a vocal mouthpiece to say, if you have heard about Carefree Now, wow, you need to sign up for Carefree Now. It doesn't cost anything, and it tells you about all these amazing benefits and programs that are available, and they're available for no out-of-pocket expense. You need to go there and do it now, and just be a mouthpiece. So now let me share with you. So this is a month, right? Now what if you mess this up and you got some real superstars that said, you know what? I love your model here, getting one a day. That's great. But I'm a real marketing man, and I want to run campaigns, and I see what Kevin's doing with the co-ops, and my goal is I want to do 5 a day. I want to do 2 a day. Whatever you want to teach your team and set that benchmark or set that goal, you can just plug the numbers in. The great part about Up Group is there's no limitations on what you can do. Everybody has different financial goals. Everybody has different levels of success. Everybody has a different definition of success. To me, true success is really having time and money. Because I got to tell you, in all my years in business, I've seen a lot of people that make a lot of money and they have absolutely no time to enjoy it with their friends and family. So what's the point of making all that money if you don't have a lifestyle or you don't have time? And I've seen the opposite. I've seen a lot of people that have a ton of time on their hands and they're broke because they're lazy and they're sitting on the couch. So it's really having that balance where you can have time and money, and you can create residual income. You can create leverage for yourself. And that's what with Up Group, with having these 4 floors, and you can really duplicate yourself, you can create residual passive income. And that's what Warren Buffett says. You need to find a way to make money while you sleep. And when you make money while you sleep, that's when you can have true success. So we can move on to the next slide, Kevin. This is going to show you an example of 1 year. And again, in 1 year's time, we talked about your numbers personally. If you just went out and got 365 swabs for the year, that'd be over $200,000 in income for you. And if you duplicated those efforts and taught your team to continue that path of 1 swab a day for the entire year, that year's total, just in that goal, and again, we're only talking about 30 agents on your total team, each getting 1 swab a day, so it's 30 times 365. That's 11,315 swabs. That number looks like a lot, but again, we're breaking it down to 1. Just 1 a day. See, when you break things down, everybody's all heard about, how do you bite it? How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. Well, I really don't want to eat an elephant, but the analogy is obviously it's a big elephant. Same thing here. 11,000 may look like a big number, but if you just think about it, 1 swab a day, 30 agents, 1 swab a day, and duplicating that's over 11,000 for the year. Your income in this example here almost $1 million a year. Yeah, I don't know if I have a mic drop. I want to drop the mic. Kevin, can you drop a mic for me?
I just dropped it, but I was muted. It's crazy because it's good to kind of sometimes. I'm not a hypey kind of guy, I usually don't hop on and be like, you guys can make $1,000,000,001. But here's the reality to all of this, guys. When you look at what you can do here, and I'm just going to kick my webcam on. The reality to what you can do, all right, inside of Carefree and inside of Upgroup is pretty insane, right? You're able to come in here and focus on whatever you want to focus on. If you guys are into CBDs and you want to promote those, you can promote those. If you want to promote Carefree, you can promote Carefree. But as long as you're promoting Upgroup itself as the opportunity, you're building out these different income streams and letting people choose their path through all of these trends. And in each one of these, you can make a ton of money doing it. Now, give me a 1 if you know that I'm not the guy that usually focuses on, here's how you're going to make X amount of dollars, right? Give me a 1 if you guys know that. I don't come on and say, you can make $100 million next year. You can make $50,000 next month. I might ask you income goals, but you guys never heard me say that, right? But sometimes it's really good to step back and look at, what am I doing here? What are the potentials to helping people? And what are the potentials of income for doing that? Like, what can I make here? So hopefully, give me a 2 if you guys are finding this pretty refreshing from our normal, I usually don't talk about any of this stuff, right? To coming on and showing you guys, look, these are the kind of numbers that you can do, right? That are possible in this system if you work towards it, right? And it really starts with getting, yourself, like Jason said, getting one started, getting that first started. And I got something I want to show you guys, but Jason, I'll let you continue. I just want to say that this is it's refreshing a little bit for me to kind of step back and show these guys why they're doing what they're doing, right?
Kevin, I got to tell you, what I love is I don't like to get into the hype. I get excited, and when I really get excited is when you start seeing people achieving the numbers, and they didn't believe it was possible. They didn't know how they're going to do it, but they follow the system. They just trusted enough in the system. And when they start trusting the system and then it starts happening, and then they're overcome with the emotions financially because they just said, what do I got to lose? And they start following it. And what I believe, you and I really make is a great 1-2 punch, because I do like to kind of give the examples of what's possible. And then I back it out with, hey, look, what if you only did 10% of this? What if you failed by 90%? What if you did, 2 customers a day or 2 patients a day? I just like to let people build a possibility so they can build a plan. But what you do is you give the nuts and bolts. And you say, look, I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to target those people that want to sign up for Carefree now. And I'm going to show you how we're going to get the results. So, me giving the examples can get people excited, but it's only the excitement that says, okay, how am I going to get there? And that's the bridge that you create is, I'm just so, excited about where we're going and where the team's going that's here, because I truly believe, I put a number out there yesterday on Rodney's webinar, and I said, Rodney, look, you're kind of like the first guy that Hitesh called out of the gate. I talked to one of my buddies today, and we're starting to enroll some leaders in that really have some influence.
Yeah.
And, what I believe will start to happen here. We're already starting to see the duplication. I believe tonight we're going to hit 1,000 members in our Facebook group, which will be a great milestone. But I believe we're just at the tip of the iceberg. A number I put on the webinar, on Rodney's webinar last night, is I said, I believe over the next 6 weeks, we'll start doing 2-3 webinars a day. We're going to get our automated webinars going. We're going to get our traffic going. We're going to get the co-ops going. All the sales funnels and video tools that Kevin's a genius at doing. And everybody can tap into that when you can tap into a Kevin Okawana, and I don't even like to say this with him on here, because I don't like that he hears me talking about him the way that I do, not in a bad way, but I don't like when people talk about me, and because it's just that sometimes it can be a little bit embarrassing. Not that it's embarrassing and blush a little, but I got to tell you, this guy is amazing at what he does. I truly believe he's the best in the world. when it comes to online conversion, when it comes to video sales letters, the nuts and bolts of really finite tuning in on what the cost per acquisition is and what the conversion rates are. I mean, he's a scientist at it. And he pays attention to detail. And the fact that everybody on this line can hire Kevin, basically, and I say it hire, not like you're really hiring him, but he basically goes to work for you when you become an elite member or even a pro member. As a pro member, you get the funnels, you can run your own traffic. But as an elite member, you literally get Kevin to do co-ops for you. He's driving traffic for you. You're paying for clicks, and he's just sending the funnels he's built that he knows convert. And over the last couple of weeks, I've had guys say, look, Kevin, when are we ready? I just want to give you money. And he's like, no, I'm going to spend my own money until I fine tune and tweak exactly the ratios that I know before I open it up to the rest of the team and the rest of the company. And now we're there.